PMP framework based on PMBOK 5th edition consists of 10 knowledge areas, 5 process groups and 47 processes. Now, when the framework was developed, it was assumed that it's an end-to-end big project. But PMI itself says all the 47 processes are not relevant for all the projects. Now let's take an example. Let's assume that Airport Authority of India, they decided to start a restructuring project. They decided to start a restructuring project. The scope of the restructuring project was restructuring of the entire IT infra, restructuring of the entire IT application, and the restructuring of core infra. Right? The scope, if you see the total scope of the project, there are 3 components. These 3 components are restructuring of IT infra, restructuring of IT application, and restructuring of core infra.
So these are the 3 knowledge areas.
No, these are the 3 components to be done. The total scope of work is restructure the airport. Now, since they are going through a restructuring process, and it's a huge investment, right? Before they plan restructuring, should they do a feasibility study or not? The first thing they have to do is they have to do a feasibility study to check whether the project has a viable, desirable and achievable business case or not. Because it's a huge investment and the feasibility study will also be very exhaustive. They did feasibility study. They found that it's a value for money of proposition in terms of business case. Then they decided what should be their delivery approach based on the business case. Should they be doing it on their own or should they outsource each piece? They decided, let's outsource each of these components. They decided to outsource, let's say, IT application piece to Infosys, IT infrastructure to Wipro, and core infrastructure to GMR. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
Now, there is a big project. Who has this big project? Airport Authority of India. It has to be outsourced to 3 different players. They have pre-decided, or they might have gone for a RF. They might have released a request for proposal. People might have submitted the proposal against the RFP, and they would have selected 3 different vendors. In this situation, they have selected 3 different vendors: Infosys for IT application, Wipro for IT infrastructure, and GMR for core infrastructure. Right? Now, for Airport Authority of India, these are components. But for Wipro, Infosys and GMR, are these small components or projects? For them, they are the projects. Now, it might be possible that, Wipro, who has got the entire IT infrastructure piece, they outsource a small security piece to a small company like Impetus. For Wipro, what is this?
That's a component.
It's a component, right? But for Impetus, what is this? Project. So as I am going down in the value chain, everybody is doing the project, but the magnitude and the scale of project is different. I have to, the level or the magnitude at which I have to apply processes at different levels will be different. Do you agree or not?
Fully agree.
Right? So the amount of or the magnitude of processes required at Airport Authority of India level will be the highest. As I am going down to Wipro and to Impetus level, the magnitude of the processes should also decrease because the scope and the complexity of the project is decreasing. Right? When the entire project management framework was built based on PMBOK 5th edition, it was assumed that it's an end-to-end project, as I gave you an example of Airport Authority of India. However, PMBOK has also mentioned very, very clearly that you have to tailor the processes as per the need of the project. So all the 47 processes might not be required for all the different projects. Is this clear? Depends on situation. See, what I'm trying to say is, do whatever is value add,
That's right.
right? But don't follow the framework blindly, apply it to the context. In fact, sometimes people ask me a question, should a project manager be technical or non-technical? Again, it all depends on the
Project.
context.
Correct.
For example, if you talk about the project manager of Airport Authority of India, now this project manager is expected to know how to create good requests for proposals. This project manager is expected to know the process of evaluating the proposals, right? This project manager is supposed to have knowledge about contracts and some risk mitigation related to contracts. And this project manager is supposed to have good knowledge about how to manage multiple vendors or how to administer contracts. He's more, when I recruit this kind of a project manager at this level, I expect the project manager should have very good communication skills, very good negotiation skills. Since he's working on multiple domains, IT infra, he has to manage IT infra project also, IT application project also, and core infra. I don't expect him to be technical. However, when I talk about project manager at Wipro level who is managing IT infra piece, right? Or Infosys level which is managing IT application piece, or GMR level which is managing core infra piece, yes, I would have an added advantage if I have specialist project manager coming from a specific background, right? So all these are very contextual thing, right? What I mean to say by tailoring processes is, do whatever is adding value. Do not do things which will not add value. So as you go down in the value chain, as the magnitude of the project decreases, as the complexity of the project decreases, the amount of processes applied should also decrease. You should move from heavyweight to lean process.